Welcome to the first of our Women Who Inspire Us series with Naked Ambition. We are here with the wonderful Dr. Louise Greenstock. Thank you.
Not see as plain as the day, the night.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I hope that you enjoyed the series and congratulations on discovering Naked Ambition, who have been a blessing in my life as well. So I started, my career journey has been a bit meandering, winding road sort of thing, which has become something I share openly as part of my story and is kind of central to how I run my business, I guess.
Longing to leave, but begging to feel that something will make you stay. You gotta believe that this all leads to somewhere we've never been.
Wonderful, ambitious ladies, thank you very much for sending in your questions. We're really thrilled, and we thank you for sharing. And we wanted to just give you or pose to you a couple of those questions today and get your take on them.
We won't run, we can fight, all that keeps us up at night.
Exciting process to reflect and connect with who you are, and know that there are different parts of who you are, and they show up in different contexts, and that's absolutely the human condition. But whenever we're not congruent with, we feel like we're not expressing or not honest with ourselves and people around us about who we really are, that's kind of a signal that either we don't feel confident in expressing that, or maybe we don't know and we've become disconnected. So I would really be excited for that person's journey of maybe journaling or talking to friends, or maybe a practitioner, a coach, or whoever, around really bringing forth again that knowing of who they are, and then looking at where they are out of alignment with that, and whether there need to be any changes, or whether it's just a matter of them owning that and coming back into themselves, and expressing, allowing that to be fully expressed in the world.
Excellent. I think something that's along the same lines that we have been looking at recently is the topic of reviews, performance reviews.
There is far to go now, let's not waste a minute more.
I would really love to see women going into that scenario not from a position of defence, because of what that implies, but coming in seeing it as an opportunity to gather information and evidence of what they have achieved, what they're capable of, and then express that.
Love it. Yeah.
And almost see that as like joyfully. And again, it's this owning. If we stand in the truth of what we're good at and what we've achieved, and are ready to express and share that, and we really kind of come into it like almost like an inner fierceness that's not aggressive, but is knowing what we've achieved and what we're capable of. Yeah, exactly. It's not about attacking. It's not about who the other person is. But it's about ownership of what what we've achieved, what we're capable of, and how much potential we have. So where we're looking at areas of weakness, we're actually seeing areas of potential for where we could add more value. And if we come into a scenario from that position, then there is no attacker to defend against. There are two parties expressing their points of view. There can be a negotiation, but we're really owning that we have something to offer. And I would really love to see people coming in from that empowered position, rather than immediately perceiving something to defend against.
Wonderfully put.
And deny.
On that, something that I personally have struggled with and seemed to kind of come up in the last few years, and something that wasn't there before, is this fear of public speaking. I've developed a terrible fear of public speaking. I used to be so confident at school and university, and now when I think I should just be hitting my strides, the thought of standing in front of people terrifies me, and I think it's hurting my career.
In this devil, I've got the metal, the means to make things right.
We can really hone in on fears, the collective fear of women, but actually human beings. And I think it's important to make it clear that it's not just a thing that women experience.
Absolutely.
But it's this fear of not performing well enough and not being good enough. You know, it's referred to as one of the fear of not being good enough is referred to as one of the 3 universal human fears. And the other 2 are not belonging and not being loved. So when you're questioning through a kind of one-to-one coaching experience, you tend to find you coming up against one or more or all of those fears every single time. And that's reassuring for all of us because other people get it.
Yes.
And that can be a big part of the healing, you know, immediately. It's just to realise and recognise that other people get it.
Tired of guilt, tired of being sorry. Haven't we suffered?
If we were going to just get really practical here, and we're thinking about somebody who really is terrified and has to go into a pretty serious meeting or a situation, what are just a couple of exercises that you would give them to prepare themselves, aside from obviously being as prepared as possible with the presentation, just to center themselves?
If you can notice the fear and anxiety in your body physically, if you can notice the thoughts, the erratic thoughts and mind chatter, but take a third position on those 2 things, then you can start to really breathe through it and just keep coming back to breathing through and noticing them rather than just completely going into the flow of that anxiety. If you can do that, then you're going a long way towards kind of centering and just coming in so that you're really aligning with the fact that it's this moment right now, and you're then able to think more clearly about really what are the stakes here, you know, and line up and say, this is a presentation, I know what I'm saying, the people here like me, none of them are really mean people, I won't die if they don't like me, you know. The other thing we were chatting about earlier was imagining a group of your best friends being there, and you know, you can have them in a circle or a horseshoe around you, just a visual, and just imagine that kind of like, you know,
Imagining yourself telling a story at a party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And unless you are a very, 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 very experienced presenter, there is a change of state that comes about when you are presenting. So I'm a pretty experienced presenter, but I still go into a state when I'm presenting that's not really an anxiety state, but it's aware of being exposed.
Yes.
And I use all the things I've mentioned to manage that. But I get it, no matter how polished my presenting is.
We won't run, we can fight. All that keeps us up at night. There is far to go now. Let's not waste a minute more.
So Enchanted Experiences is a series of events that have really been born out of a big year for me. So I've been running workshops for a while, but these workshops are an opportunity for women to come together either for a full day or a seminar series of 4 seminars in a row on an evening once a week. And the idea of Enchanted Experiences is that what we explore when we're going through personal and professional transitions is really an expression of our journey in life. And our journeys in life are very much part of our soul journey, and our soul loves the language and way, the modality, if you like, of enchantment. And it's really about bringing the inner child along on the journey. And so the idea of having enchanted experiences means that women can come together as a group, have a space which is held by me and created by me, but also held by the other women there, and explore whatever is emerging for them at that time. We're using the theme of fairy tales for 2 full-day events, which are the 12th of October and the 23rd of November. They're held at Yellow Door in Fitzroy, which is a workshop space. There's only 12 spaces on those. And the Women's Wellbeing Seminar Series runs for the 3rd time, starting on the 15th of October, for 4 Tuesday evenings, 7 till 9 at the same venue. And the theme this time for this little seminar series is self-care and living your truth. So self-care is one of those things that's so easy to say and talk about, but really demands an authenticity from yourself, an honesty and integrity with what you need. Now, it turned out for me that I was disconnected from that even after all the work that I've done and what I do. So now I'm really owning my own journey and sharing it, and that will be the theme for that 4-part seminar series. 4 Tuesdays starting on the 15th of October, and we skip a week, but I can send you more information about that. And I absolutely love the fact that Naked Ambition are going to be sponsoring, and this is the start of a great collaborative friendship between us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here today.
This was amazing. Thanks.
I think